The trustee.
Sir, you need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop, or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. All right, Missy.
False imprisonment.
I want you to stop talking, or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight? The second.
I also have a right to understand the nation's cause of this. I have a right to understand the nation's cause.
If you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail.
I'm not being disruptive. I'm just trying to understand the nature and cause of the charge.
All right, officers. I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right, folks, today we're looking at one of the most baffling sovereign citizen cases we've seen on this channel. This man is in court for driving without valid insurance and for speeding. Despite the seriousness of the charges, he doesn't seem to take the situation seriously at all. He's facing possible jail time, yet he's casually arguing with the judge as if it's a friendly debate. But this isn't a casual conversation. This is a courtroom, and real consequences are on the line. What do you think about his behavior? Is he truly unaware of how serious this is? Or is there something deeper going on? And how do you feel the judge handled it professionally or not? Also, be ready. This guy tends to go off on long, confusing rants. So let's take a closer look and see how it all unfolds.
Mr. Johnson, appearing in person and pro se. Your name tag on your uniform says Johnson, so I presume you are Mr. Johnson. Now, sir, if you could get right in front of that microphone, thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Sir,
Yes.
You're charged in count 1 with speeding 82 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. That is a traffic infraction. It is not a charge that carries any jail time. It has a scheduled fine. 82 and a 65 is $87, but then there's also 108 court costs. In count 2, you're accused of operating your motor vehicle without proof of insurance. Now, if you had insurance but just couldn't find it, you can get the proof to the county attorney and she'll probably dismiss that charge. If, in fact, it had lapsed or something was happening so that you didn't have insurance on the vehicle at the time being January 4th, 2024, that is a B misdemeanor. The maximum penalties as far as jail time would be 6 months, although probation is usually granted. There is a mandatory minimum fine the court must impose of $300, but it could be as high as $1,000. You do have the right to hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed. You can waive your right to counsel and represent yourself. Another option, you might be able to apply for diversion. That is where you apply, and if the county attorney approves you for diversion, you would pay agreed upon fines, costs, get your insurance current, and pay a diversion fee, and she'd dismiss the charges and keep them off your record. If you want to talk about diversion or anything else with your attorney, you certainly will have the opportunity to do that. Your pleas, you have a choice of pleas. You can plead not guilty and we can set this for trial at a later date. You can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we would proceed with sentencing. Or you could plead no contest, which is neither admitting nor denying the charges, but you'd still most likely be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing. If you want to look into diversion, we'll enter a not guilty plea to give you time to do that. You can always change your plea, but once you're convicted, pre-trial diversion is off the table. So
probably not eligible for diversion based on his driving record.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to talk to an attorney then and discuss whether or not you have a defense?
No, Your Honor, I would like to request a declaratory judgment due to there is no agreement for my performance under any agreement or commission of this court.
Well, I don't need an agreement from you, sir. So if I were...
Well, Your Honor, I simply do not understand the nature and cause of the accusation with regard to the jurisdiction of the venue and nature of this action until the prosecutor properly alleges them there. I cannot enter a plea to the charge until I have the opportunity to raise a meaningful defense on my behalf.
You can really see the tension rising with Judge Joe Webster. It's written all over her face. Her patience is clearly wearing thin. This sovereign citizen seems to believe that tossing around confusing talk about freedom and jurisdiction will somehow get him off the hook. But let's be honest, won't. The law is simple. If you're driving without a valid license or insurance, you're in the wrong. No amount of made-up legal jargon is going to change that. It's honestly hard to understand how some people convince themselves they're above the law. Where are they even getting this misinformation? Is it online somewhere? I'd be curious to see what they're watching because the number of people following this thinking is growing fast, and just wait, things are about to escalate. This man isn't just being difficult, he's about to get confrontational with the judge. Let's jump back in and see what happens next.
All right, I will then, since you cannot enter a plea today, I will enter a not guilty plea for you and give you time.
I object, Your Honor. I object to you entering a plea to me because I must understand the nature and cause of these accusations. So I do not agree to you entering a plea on my behalf.
Well, your position is taken and I'm still going to do it. I will note your objection for the record, but I'm going to enter a not guilty plea.
Well, I object to you entering a plea on my behalf.
Your objection is noted, and if the time comes, you can appeal that to the Court of Appeals. Now, on the issue of
Your Honor, I would like to ask, who bring these charges against me? I should have the right to question.
All right, we're not going to have this debate right now. I've told you your charges. I've told you the state of Kansas has filed those through its attorney, Jill Gillette. Now,
well, I would like to call the state to the. I would like to call the state to the stand, Your Honor.
We're not doing that.
State bringing charges against me. Who is it? How did I injure the state?
All right, this is your first appearance. I advise you of your rights. I advise you of your charges and possible.
Your Honor, I object to the proceeding, for I do not know the nature and cause of the proceeding.
I'm entering a not guilty plea. Missy, when is
I object to you entering I object to you entering a plea on my behalf. I do not grant you that right.
Missy?
You're supposed to act as a trustee.
Sir, you need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. Missy?
Well, Your Honor, I would like to also bring to according to USC 12203.
Deputy Miles,
and also Article 3, the judge must operate in good faith and good behavior. So therefore, if you're making a threat towards me, then
Deputy,
that's
if he's going to keep being contentious, I'm going to
court.
have you take him into custody on contempt.
Then that would be illegal search and seizures, Your Honor.
Wouldn't you need to go back?
It will.
All right, Missy.
False imprisonment.
I want you to stop talking, or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight?
Your Honor, again,
Deputy Miles, could you come in and assist the defendant?
September 27th at 9 o'clock will be the court date.
September 27th, you said 9 o'clock?
Yes.
9 a.m. You must be back here, sir, in person at the courthouse, or you will be arrested for failure to come to court. Now, that deputy there is going to take you into custody if you cannot control yourself through the remainder of this hearing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just enforcing my right, Your Honor.
All right. So your first right is to have a hearing date, and that is September 27th, 9 a.m. The second
Your Honor,
right,
I also have a right to understand the nature of this.
This man clearly doesn't get the message. Honestly, if I were the judge, I would have considered holding him in contempt by now. Major credit to Judge Webster for staying calm because, let's be honest, most people would have either muted him or had him removed already. Now, to be fair, when he says he has the right to know the charges against him, it's not wrong. That's a basic part of due process under the Sixth Amendment. But here's the issue. The judge already explained the charges clearly and more than once. He just refuses to listen. Instead, he acts like he's being dragged into some secret, shady legal setup. It's honestly strange. At this point, it's not about legal rights. It's about being so stubborn that even a direct answer feels like a personal attack. Let's see just how far Judge Webster's patience can stretch, because this case is only getting more intense.
I have a right to understand the
All
nature
right.
of the cause.
If you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail. Do you want to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed?
No, I do not. I don't need to hire an attorney, Your Honor.
You want to represent yourself?
I don't need to hire an attorney. I would like for you as the judge, Your Honor, to explain to me the nature and cause of the.
All right, I'm not going to appoint an attorney if you don't want me to. If you want, you said you don't want to hire an attorney. If you want to apply for court appointed, the officers have forms there that you can fill out. If
I
you
just
don't
want to
fill them
understand the
out,
nature
I'm
and
going-
cause.
If you don't want to fill one out, I'm going to assume you don't want an attorney. And then if you come to court September 27th at 9 a.m., you're going to be representing yourself if you don't hire or apply for court appointed. And so you've got the third issue. Does he have a bond? Looks like you do because you failed to appear February 27th at your first appearance. So bench warrant was issued, bond was set at $1,000 cash for professional surety. Looks like that was posted. Looks like you made a cash bond of $1,000. Does that sound right? You put up $1,000 cash back in July 12th?
I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of this allegation, Your Honor.
I will continue your bond unless you get yourself hauled into jail on contempt before you leave. I will continue your bond with the condition that you reappear here in person at September 27th at 9 a.m. So you've got your court date, you've got your bond, and we've talked about your lawyer. Now, you're wearing a U.S. Army uniform with the name Johnson on it. Are you in or have you been in the United States military?
Your Honor, I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of the allegation, Your Honor.
All right. If you can leave the courthouse now without any further disruption, I will let you do so. But I'm going to have those officers escort you to make sure you do so. So,
Would you,
Ms.
do
Ms.
you,
Gillette, anything further?
Your Honor,
Nothing.
it is your oath to explain the nature and cause of the allegation against me. Are you failing to do that?
All right. You can either walk out the front door with the officers, or you can walk upstairs to the county jail with the officers.
Well, let me know in the comments, do you think this man is going to end up spending the night in jail? Or will he finally listen and walk out like the judge has asked him to? Honestly, at this point, it could go either way. He's been given every chance to avoid trouble, but he just won't take the hint. The judge has been more than patient, giving him multiple warnings and practically urging him to cooperate. But instead of listening, he's sticking to a script, like it's going to solve everything. Here's something interesting. This man actually served in the army. That's part of the government. Yet now he's arguing against government authority. How does that even add up? It's hard to understand how someone with military training ends up acting like this in a courtroom. You'd think he'd know better. At this point, I honestly don't know what's going on. Something just doesn't add up. Let's get back to the hearing and see where this goes next.
The choice is yours. Either leave
Your Honor, I'm trying to
peacefully or
understand.
leave disruptively.
I'm not
That's
being
why an
disruptive. I'm
attorney
just
can
trying to
help.
understand the nature and cause of the
All right,
charges.
officers, I'm gonna close
What
it.
am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the
If
charge.
if he gives any more grief,
All I'm asking is to understand the charges. This is
I've
for
told
the
you the
record. You said it's for the
charges.
record, so I'm trying to understand what am I being
Told you
charged?
the charges. Goodbye, sir.
I just want to understand the nature and cause of the charges, Your Honor. That's all I ask. It is your
I've
oath
gone
to
over
do
those
that.
with you. If you tell me what kind of questions you have, I will be happy to answer them, but I've already told you.
Okay. Under what jurisdiction is these charges being brought to me under?
The state of Kansas has charged you with speeding 82 and a 65 and operating a motor vehicle without liability insurance on January 4th, 2024 in Greenwood County, Kansas. You failed to appear for your first appearance and a bench warrant was issued and you were arrested and you made a bond of $1,000 cash or surety, posting a cash bond. Now you have to go to court and you have to answer those charges. You can
Your Honor, I
have
know.
a trial if you like, and the burden will be on the state of Kansas to either prove or disprove. If they can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, you're let go.
Well, I'm still trying to understand what jurisdiction am I being charged under, Your Honor? That's all I'm trying to understand.
You're being charged under the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas under its criminal.
But according to the Constitution, there are only two
All right,
jurisdictions.
we'll have that on a later date. We'll be in recess, officers. Please escort him one way or the other, depending on his behavior.
But I'm still not understanding what you're charging me with.
Goodbye. We are adjourned.
But if she's the judge, I'm supposed to have clear and concise of what I'm being charged with. I'm not giving y'all a problem. I'm trying to. Well, I'm waiting on the Your Honor to explain.
All right, Missy.
But that's it.
That's our last case on the docket, isn't it?
This is not good.
Yes.
All right. All right. Ms. Gillette, I'll see you at 3:30 docket.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right. Well,
Can I go home?
I left it up to them and I left it up to you and then they were to behave accordingly.
School lives seen a lot of unusual court cases. But this one truly stands out. It almost felt like the defendant wanted to be jailed maybe. He's dealing with personal struggles, possibly even homelessness. It's hard to say. What's clear is that Judge Webster went out of her way to explain everything charges jurisdiction, all in the simplest terms. And still, he refused to understand or accept it. There was a mix of stubbornness and confusion here that made it nearly impossible to get through to him. Honestly, it makes you wonder how someone with this mindset made it through the military F. He even did. Something just doesn't add up. But beyond this one case, the bigger issue is how much time and energy sovereign citizen cases drain from the court system. Judges, clerks, and everyone involved are stuck handling these disruptions while real cases get delayed. And let's not forget, this all comes at the taxpayer's expense. In the end, I think Judge Webster showed real professionalism. She gave him multiple chances, stayed patient, and finally took firm action when needed. Even though this case felt like a waste of time, it was a reminder of how challenging some courtroom situations can be. What did you think of this case? Share your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching and take care.